Hi friends, welcome back to Coffee Chat episode 3. This time we are talking about friendships, making friends, losing friends, and being a friend. As usual, I put on Instagram and on my community page for your insights and your experiences, as well as this time I did change it up a little and I provided like questions that kind of like worked as a prompt for you to answer. So I think that's something I'm going to continue from doing now on, just providing questions. Any responses I get for things like that are going to be mentioned at the end of the nonetheless, let's get into it. Let's start with losing friends. So whether it's a natural distance that grows between friends or because of like peculiar directions that it takes us, or even a falling out from friendships because of a disagreement or something, these are all things that we go through, or even sadly or tragic, sometimes we lose friends to death or to accidents or things like that. And so out of all the ways to lose a friend, you need to grieve it. Whether it was, oh, my friend and I, we grew apart because they moved away to college or they moved to another town or another state, whatever it is, or, any type of, loss, losing a friend, someone not being in your life anymore. It's okay to grieve that. It's okay to, take time and reflect on what you've lost. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to miss people. It's okay to miss people even when you know that it's for the best, that you guys aren't in each other's lives anymore. So that's what I would say with losing friends. I've lost friends because of, life's directions. I've lost a friend from a friend passing away. And so you just gotta grieve it, and you gotta let yourself feel what you're gonna feel. And at the same time, sometimes you lose a part of a friendship. If someone has moved away, I just moved away from all of my friends that I've ever known this year, and it's been a struggle this year to make new friends or to deal with not being right down the street from a friend or being town over and being like, hey, let's go do this today. It takes a toll on you, and it's hard. But does that necessarily mean friendships are over completely? No, of course not. It's just you have to all come to terms with how friendships adapt and come to terms with how things are going to differ. And so for me, I visit with my friends when I'm up there, or I still check in with my friends, or I connect with them in different ways. And so learning also how to adapt to a change in your friendship and working with each other and knowing where each other's at, being appreciative of what a person can be there for you to do, even if there's a change in that friendship. So, and we'll talk more about this in being a friend section, but yeah, that's what I think about when losing friends. I think that I am grateful for what happened, or I spent some time reflecting on why that person is no longer in my life or what have you, but don't carry a grudge or anger along with that. Just accept people for who they are and where they're at in life. All right, so making friends. Making friends is difficult, whether you're entering kindergarten for the first time, whether you're moving to a new state, a new school, whether you're in 7th grade, whether you're going on to college, whether you're entering a new job, or if you're someone like me who moved away from their hometown and everyone they knew. So how the fuck do we make friends nowadays? I feel like it changed a little. We got Bumble BFFs, we got finding out someone in your scene or whatever you're into locally is around there, or Facebook groups, whatever have you. It's all boils down to this though. To make friends, you have to be comfortable with putting yourself out there. You have to be comfortable with, this person might not like me, or I might not like this person, or that's not a great fit, or you have to be comfortable with the flip side as well. I really enjoy this person, because making new connections, at least for me personally, it does bring up some emotions of, is this something that's gonna be like a new lifelong friend? Is this and so I completely understand that feeling of how being vulnerable and putting yourself out there is scary, but that's the only way to make friends. You have to come from a place of, I like myself, I think I'm cool, I would hang out with me, me. And so coming with that intention of, or at least knowing who you are, makes a whole lot of a difference. And that's why I'm gonna segue for a second, where you have to be your own friend first. You do. You have to be comfortable spending time alone, be comfortable taking yourself out to do fun things, yourself on adventures, and being strong in who you are. Now that's obvious, that's easier said than done, but you're going to have a more success with making friends if you know who you are. And you're also going to have a better way of making good friends when you know the kind of person you are and the kind of person that you want to be friends with. Because we've all been there where we maybe made friends, or even romantically, put ourselves out there with a person and realized maybe we're not meshing too well, and we don't value ourselves enough to, or even know ourselves enough to know what we value, to say, love you, I'm gonna wish you well, I'm gonna wish that you eat, but I don't want you to eat at my table. So you kind of just have to have that balance. And so being comfortable with who you are, being confident with who you are, that's going to attract people that you would like in your life, gonna make you comfortable with also those moments where you might not have a friend to call. Speaking from personal experience, I have made a couple friends since moving down here, and I put myself out there. I was on a Facebook group for girls in the area. I was on it for a couple months before I was comfortable and confident enough to make an about me post and be like, this is who I am, this is what I'm about, and I would love to be friends similar people. That is how I made one of my friends. She liked Fall Out Boy, I love Fall Out Boy. We got coffee a couple times. You just have to be comfortable in that. And at the same time, you also have to know what a kind of friend is. I have, best friends that I don't talk to every week, or that I might go a couple months without talking to. Or I've had friends that I've had since second grade, but we had distance between like high school, and by the time we got to like 21, we reconnected. That's also something to think about, is how your friends are going to change throughout your life. Be accepting of changes while you're making friends. I hope that wasn't too confusing. I hope I got my point across well. Yeah, if you have any advice on how to make friends and what to do about it, leave it down below. But to summarize real quick, put yourself out there, be comfortable with yourself, be confident with yourself, reach out to groups that you have interest in, reach out to groups for people of your age, whatever. So let's move on to being a friend. So how do we show up as friends? That was one of my questions, how to be a friend, because I think something about maintaining friendships, because you can make a friend, but can you, maintain being a friend? You know what that means? How do you show up as a friend? How are you a friend to people? So speaking personally, for me, being a friend is about, it's supporting people, whether that's an art that they have, that you support them in that, or you think about their interests, or you remember things about their life, or you support their religion, or you show up for them in times like that, things that really matter. I remember I've celebrated some holidays with my friends before, and it was really important to be included in something like that and to show support for something like that. And I think another way of being a friend is to also hold your friends accountable. To me, I am not the friend that's going to always tell you you're making the best, number one, greatest decision. I'm going to be the friend who is going to very sweetly and gently let you know, this seems harmful to you, this seems detrimental to you, or this is causing you pain, I'm going to call it out like that when certain things are happening. For me, being a friend is including people. I think I love, before I moved, I had some get-togethers. I had like a Halloween pre-game thing at my house for some of my friends. I tried to include all of my friends, even friends from different groups you might not have connected before. Same thing for my going away party. I brought all my friends together. I think that to be a good friend, you also need to make sure you're calling yourself out when you haven't been the best friend. Like, hey, I dropped the ball for a little bit and I wasn't there for you like I should have been, or I did something that hurt you and I'm really sorry. And making sure you're taking accountability and not just being like, well, that's my friend. So at the same end, if someone a friend has hurt you or something that I've had to learn is to not be like passive aggressive or slick about it or sly about it or subtweety or those kinds of things. And that's taken a lot of maturity, because instead of just communicating effectively, and we hear a lot about communication in romantic relationships, but that's such an important component for friendships as well. So just know your persons. Know your friends, know your community, and make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who care about you, who love you, who the best for you. All right, so now we are going to move on to the social media responses that I got. So let's go ahead and start with my community tab. I did get a response from a lovely subscriber. So the questions that I asked this episode were, what does friendship mean to you? And how do you show up as a friend? And this subscriber, Andrea, said that she shows up as a friend, and being a friend means loving unconditionally and unapologetically. And I agree. She also goes on to say that being a friend, which I really love how she worded this comment. Like, I love it so much. I also love that she said that being a friend is remembering like tiny details about a person and showing compassion. And I also totally agree with that. I think remembering little details and remembering things about people that matter really shows a way to care. And then Andrea also goes on to say to be direct and honest and open when needing to communicate, and agree 100%. Like I said, communication skills are not just for your romantic relationships. It's for your friendships, it's for your work, it's for all kinds of things. So also says that a friendship is kind of like a new brother or sister or a sibling, except instead of growing up together, you have to encompass that information much faster and quicker. I don't know if I summarized that well enough. I also feel that way, that when you're meeting someone, you got to learn all this new information, and that the connection is very strong and you get to learn about a person in a much different way. Wholeheartedly agree with that, Andrea. Thank you for responding. And then we have my lovely friend Chloe responded to this. Just gonna summarize what my friend Chloe had to say. She's basically saying that she was taught in her life to surround yourself with quality friends, but something she's learned is to be a quality friend. And similar to what I was saying earlier, to respectfully call yourself out on your own behavior, to be able to communicate with other people about their behavior, be able to show up for people, and also that long-term friendship does initially come from that instant vibe, that instant connection, that instant click. It also is work and it's effort, and you have to work on yourself. And that she also says that the way that she's learned to communicate with her friends and the way that she has learned to be a better friend has helped her be a better girlfriend in her relationship. And that was a point I told her that I 100% agree with. I think that had I not had the friendships that I have had leading up to this relationship, I wouldn't have been as open to communication, as open to being vulnerable, as open to recognizing the flaws in myself. But thank you so much, Chloe, for responding. Your insight is always so valuable to me, and I appreciate you so much for participating with my coffee chats. If you would like to answer the questions down below, I will have them in the down bar. That is it. Losing friends, making friends, being a friend. I hope that you guys took something from this, whether it was validation that you're not alone with making friends and losing friends and such, or some confidence boost to put yourself out there. So again, thank you to everyone for participating. Thank you for watching my video, and I will see you guys in my next coffee chat.